I'm Seukeran, narcissist recovery life coach, Canada. Apartment 47 in Malton. Welcome to the live stream. 7 o'clock p.m. Let's make it brighter so I can see. Good. Welcome. Feel free to leave your questions. There's been a lot of comments and people sending messages to companies using my business email, sending me voice messages on my phone. So we're going to start with that one right here in Malton, where you live. Your phones, your jobs. We're going to go over again, right? Actual police calls, your background check, your job, if you work with children, if you have to get an apartment or a house, if you need a credit check, all of those things we're going to go over today. If someone did it to you, right? Got access to your bank account or your phone, your Google account. If you lost your house or your job or your bank account because of it. If your email was full and you missed an important one you were waiting for, or your text was full and you missed an important text message, like if you were waiting for a delivery, right? But you didn't get the message because there was a bunch of garbage filling it up, what you would do to those people. We're going to go over all of that. Your actual name, your job, your credit, reality for all of you and your children to learn today. Did I ever tell you I hate liars? Liars, not lawyers, liars. People that lie. Welcome. I'm in apartment 45. What is the point of telling me that if you know I'm in 47? Here we go again. You lie all the time. You say you're a life coach. That's 0 again from earlier. Oh, I was going over if I went and found that lady in person who was telling me about my bathroom and my toilet and the floor. You told me about the floor, right? To show you the floor? So welcome back. Let's see yours. You were going to show us your bathroom floor. Buddy there. What certifications do you have as a life coach? Show me the bathroom floor first. You promised. Yours. Show us now. Tell us how many people live in your house and who cleans your bathroom. How many people use the bathroom in your house, buddy? It's just 2 stars. We were here earlier, right? On the live stream. So we're all waiting. The whole building, remember? Unit by unit. They were showing us their bathroom floor, telling us who cleans their bathroom and how many people live in their house and use the bathroom. So we're just going to continue. Did I clean? Do you guys have jobs? I just asked you, how often do you clean your bathroom floor? Yes, you are going to answer. I'm waiting on 0 here to find out where he lives, or if it's she or he, whatever it is. 2 stars here. It keeps coming on and commenting. You understand you're on my live stream, right? Victims of abuse. In Malton, right? Apartment 47, Amy Seukeran. Building 1, 7555 Goreway Drive. Do you want to go over 36, run around real quick and go get a video of their bathroom now? They needed help with their toilet. So, let's hear. Everybody. This is going to be on YouTube, right? You understand this? Just telling you. The whole world. You want to go over what? I posted about Officer Tyler. Let's go over Jonathan Davis first. That was when? September. Right, so Mother's Day came after in 2020. Father's Day came after in 2020. I told you the dates don't change. Malton People's Movement. Which one do you want me to get to? The assault, if he got assaulted? Why? If she got tasered and shot, why they tasered them? Where the kid was? Why what? She didn't have custody? You want me to go over that too? Why she went over there? Which one do you want me to go over? If she didn't have custody, why did she go there on Mother's Day if she knew she didn't have custody? You are not a mother or father. I want 0 here right now. I want to hear where it lives. They're actually coming on here. 6 years homeless. Oh, you're going to go back in time. You're going to tell me all about the Malton moms. All about Jonathan Davis. I told you how many times? You what? Let's go over. How did it end up? That was Mississauga, right? Which one of them? That says, did you see it? The post? Defund the police? What about, what else? That was the community center right here in Malton. So what else did you see? Excuse you? You're all excused. 6 years of wasting my life. Now you pay. Yeah, go over it again. You what? From what I understand, she called because she didn't have custody, right? Her boyfriend called the police on her, right? Because she showed up at the house. So explain what, where, in what world? The officer is the mental health officer, right? They opened that in January. Do you know how many times I posted? I opened the business in March 2019. Where do you think I was? So how do you think any of this is going to change? Let's go over it again. You what? Do you want to go over the community center? The Darcel buildings? Lincoln is where you went to school? The paint class was at the community center? How many times? What do you want to go over? Why it happened? Let's hear why it happened. How'd you get the youth hub? How'd you get the grants? How it happened? Well, how did you accuse them of why did you want to defund them? Because you didn't get the police station? You didn't get the hub? Which one? Why did you want to defund the police? Because you didn't get what? Money for what? Oh, mental health. But that's the same officer, right? The mental health unit. That was January. So try again. When she got tasered, when they got shot, when she got shot, when the officer got assaulted. Go ahead, let me hear this again. It was Mother's Day, right? Do you understand the same thing? She had custody. She didn't have custody. So she went over to the house. Why? It's that same guy, right, that called the police? The one that assaulted the officer? He's the one who called? So explain this to me. Why did he call? If she's the mother and she didn't have custody and came over, explain it. We'll take 5 minutes. You can go Google it. Yeah, until you get to me and my life and what it has to do with any of you and why I shouldn't get back at you. So let's hear now. Explain it. The first time you put me in Cawthra shelter was July. Yeah. Imagine if I skipped the dates, missed them, right? July 2019. I started this business in March 2019. Oh, you're going to try every single day till you go back in time. Do you understand I'm sitting on Gorway and I lived on Netherwood? I don't know, he's back to not making sense, or she, whichever it is. My apologies, I'm trying to see the picture while you're irritating me on my live stream. I'm trying to help people. So, I'm so glad. Speaking of, I forgot Lily Singh. Let's go back to Lily Singh in 2019 now. You, every time you mention it, you're going to show me. Did you forget about Me to We charity when that whole scandal broke out? That was her, right? Girl Love, that was Me to We. That's the same Headley, Jacob Hogard, Me to We. They all sold their merchandise. They all did concerts for years. That's the same Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, right? That was his scholarship. We are forgetting? We didn't care. So what are you doing right now? Commenting for what? How many times? Why? Why are you talking? If this has been the problem, too many of you in your mouth, that's what keeps winning? Now let me hear again when it's going to stop. Okay, let's go over this. You went to the police station and did what? It says right there to get the charges dropped, right? You went as a community. So start there. Explain that. Did you? Did you see the pictures? What is that? Who is Malton People's Movement? Her and her husband, and who? The meeting of the community center said 40 members from Malton People's Movement, right? When they kidnapped the mayors of Brampton and Mississauga. That's the same Malton Community Center right down the street from here. Try again. They who? I want to hear where my name and my business got involved in this, any of this. Canada Day that year was July 1st, right? 2019. Westwood Square had celebrations. So let's start from there. If the first time I went to Cawthra Shelter was July 15th, that was after Canada Day. So let's hear. What was the Malton BIA and the Malton, all the nonprofits doing, Malton Neighborhood Services? Let's hear what you did for Canada Day. 2019. Oh, you're all going to remember. You're going to wish, give it a rest? You garbage sat here for 6 years, the most entitled garbage, wasting money, doing whatever you wanted, breaking rules, not following rules. Give it a rest? You're going to wish. You're going to wish you had perished in COVID by the time I'm done with you, Malton. Give it a rest. Those nonprofits are open right now. Give it a rest. My whole life in Malton. Say it again. Go, let me hear it for all your children, for Jonathan Davis and his scholarship. The whole youth hub. Let me hear you again. Give it a rest. You had any reason to take my life. Let me hear you again. Now I'm going to make sure we're going to go over if it was drugs. Do you remember that? All of them that the police killed? You want me to go over it? How many? How many did you accuse them of killing? So I can write notes. I want to make sure it's accurate. Malton Community Building. Who were the organizations involved? Same Muslim Council, same Malton Black Development, Malton Neighborhood Services. Which ones? Write them down so we can all get on the same page. I went over. Malton Moms opened in 2008, right, on Brandon Gate? Let's start. Me, my life. Community Roots, I was 19, right? When I worked there. That was full time at the Malton Community Center in Ridgewood. So I was 19. Try again. They didn't open until how many years after Malton Moms? You're how old? Let me hear. Right now, how old are you? Worst case, I'll go get my computer. Really? You're living in the same Malton. Where were you then? So why are you laughing? Do you understand sitting here telling me about I need help, I need meds, when you're the one who wanted the mental health unit and that's the officer? You don't see the joke? Let me hear then again where you started with the mental health in Malton, if you understand that now. But you can't deny it anymore, right? How many times? That was January, right? Mental health? Yes? All of them. Addiction and mental health in Malton. Every time you go to the mall, right? Peel Public Health, the Wellfort Clinic, the same one that was on Brandon Gate. Wellfort, remember me showing you that? I am waiting. Well, the hospital is Etobicoke, right? Where they go, mental health and addiction. So anytime. The other one is Brampton, right? Mental health. They want to tackle mental health. Let's tackle mental health. Let's tackle opioids. Do you want to go over that one? Prescriptions? Did you ever have a prescription for pain? When Malton, there's only one Shoppers Drug Mart, so I'm pretty sure they would know. Your doctor, right? Where's your doctor in Malton? What about the ambulance, fire, and police now? If you ever called them, you think they don't know? We're going to get on the same page. Everybody with the same information. Because we want to keep you all safe. In the community you live in, with the services you need. I'm answering myself. What, you just wasted tons of money for 6 years? I knew that. With all the money, do you think you could have opened another shelter somewhere? Instead of violence against women? What did you spend the money on? Let's go over the employees at Cawthra Shelter. They're texting me, right, about Adelaide, the drop-in center they sent me to when they discharged me. How much do the employees make at Cawthra Shelter? To do what? I want to hear. What does the housing worker do? What does the housing worker at Cawthra Shelter get paid to do? How much do they get paid? What other workers are in Clothra shelter? The security guards? What about the drug counselor? How often does the drug counselor come into Clothra shelter? What about AA? How often? Where do you go for recovery if you're an addict? This is Malton. You asked, right? Those are your services, so let me hear what you did now. There's another one, calling the cops on people. Are you familiar with that one? Let me hear you now, Malton. Why? What are the reasons you call the police on people? Let's go over this now. All the times you called on me, you're going to tell everybody now why. And you're going to explain this, where you got this privilege from. We went over their emergency services. You call them for emergencies. So if I have to teach you, we're going to learn tonight. Let's go over this again, Malton. Why do you call them emergency services? You wanted the mental health, right? That's the mobile crisis unit. What do you think the mobile crisis unit does? Canadian Mental Health Association, yeah, them. When you call them, what do you think they do? And who do you think CAMH is? Addiction and mental health. So you guys are the ones that said, right? You didn't want police officers showing up. You wanted the mental health workers. So then they made that mobile unit to come to your house and cater to you with an officer and a worker, right? To be so nice to you. And then what did you do to them? The addicts. All the workers, all of them. Why did they have to work from home? Why did the Ontario Works Office have security? The one in Brampton. Where did you get the word wellness check? Speaking of that one, I want to hear Kate now. Where did you get the word wellness check in Canada? Yeah, now we're going to tackle it. Where did you get the word wellness check from in Canada? Let the police answer. When did you start doing wellness checks? Who's going to know then? Who does them then? Which one? No, I'm not. Let me hear who does wellness checks. When they go to people's house that say mobile crisis. Yes, you are now. Eventually, which one? They're going to realize where. They're going to realize what? They met me in Clothra Shelter. They met me in Malton. They met me in Brampton. Downtown Brampton, Allen House. Where? They met me where? They know me from where? Let me hear eventually what? Oh, they're going to learn real good. Opening your mouth about mental health and wellness checks. All of you. Really? Mental illness is real? Let me hear what mental illness that's real. She doesn't, but she harasses tenants in her building constantly. I'm going to hold you to that. You're going to wish. I'm telling you, Malton. Every day. Do you want me to dedicate the month of March? Go, we're going to relive 2018, 2019. Well, I showed you the video of the Malton moms, right? 2018. I told you over and over to go over it. That was the school boards they stepped down from, right? All the systemic violence, systemic racism. So I want you to get a good taste of what I would do to you now. Is that okay, Malton? Since you're not really working, right? They're not jobs or businesses. They're just nonprofits. Big deal if we shut them down, right? You're getting government money anyway, grants, to fund nothing. We're all living here and everybody hates everything and everyone here. Nothing's going forward, so why? Let me hear why. We wanted to defund them. You got the police station and now you're best friends. Which one? Which side are you on? Yeah, hello, Amy. I'm sorry. Sorry I'm late. I had PTSD in my P-trap. I want you to understand this. You telling me, laughing about this, right? PTSD. I have lifelong nausea on ODSP, actual CPTSD and PTSD. And these jokers, I shouldn't destroy Malton? You actually sitting here, you're getting benefits for what? Talking to me. Keep telling me why. Actual money. Yeah, let's go over what you did to the officer there for money. You can't wait? For which one? $7:30. Who is? You're going to go back to that Malton Moms video and tell me who is all the nonprofits that were open, community building, how many times they went over it, who is? You're going to sit here right now. Who is? I wasn't here when you took everything from my business, the Malton Black Development Association. I wasn't doing all those kids' events. I didn't have a nonprofit when you did all of that. I wasn't sitting right here when you had the fish fry and all the community events, when you're blocking me out of the community center. I wasn't here. I don't see any reason. I asked you how many times, where did you hear the word narcissistic abuse? Narcissist. Malton, I have any reason? Telling me about money? You know how much money I could have made? You're telling me about Superwoman and Jay Shetty and Humble the Poet. Garbage. Who actually did what? Why? Why shouldn't I destroy you for 6 years of what waste? Much less putting me in Cawthra shelter. Much less everything you stole. Much less you're sitting here, drug addicts and alcoholics. Keep telling me. Using the food bank, coming here telling me about money. I'm on Officer Tyler's side. I'd love to hear what that side is. What did I order? How often do I shop? When I need it delivered. What did I order? Well, if I have a prescription and I can't afford, right, how do you think I go to the store, walk to it? The one in Malton, right? How many times did I go over? For $5, I can at least have so I'm not nauseous. Actual nausea. You actual fools are sitting here. You don't understand. I have actual nausea, nauseous, throwing up. In any world, anybody else would have destroyed you in a heartbeat. No, Malton just asked for it. So we're going to do a series. You want to tell me about business and money while you're sitting here using mine to go sell? We're going to get into what happened, however you blocked out the community center and the community groups, what happened. That's the same Malton Neighborhood Services, the same community center and the same people, right? City of Mississauga. Yeah, you're going to report. There's another one we're going to go over, reporting people, right? Just like all those shootings in the Darcel buildings, right? Reporting people. A 14-year-old girl. You know, with your phone, making videos of people, recording people, reporting people, calling the police on people. And then when they come back for you, what? You have PTSD? You're afraid? The men? Yeah, you want to live by yourself in houses too? You don't want to worry when they get intoxicated why the women rip them off and take everything they have. What do you think people act like when they're on drugs? Let's go over violence again. Why do you think the mental health, the mobile crisis comes? Well, when the girl fell from the balcony, right? Let's go over that real quick. Her mother called and said she was having a seizure. Called who? The ambulance? So, okay, let's go over it again. How did the police get involved if she was having a seizure? And that was an ambulance. How did the police get there? What did they come for? Well, you're going to pay every single minute every time I do a live stream until all of you shut your mouth or prove it. Prove otherwise to me. Amy, stop embarrassing yourself. Go call a doctor. How does she live on her own? Just remember, I'm holding all of you. Everybody in Cawthra Shelter right now, in Allen House. Everybody. Mental health and addiction. Every single one of you. How do I live by myself? All of you that got grants and loans, right? Canadian Mental Health and CAMH. Every single patient of yours. All the hospitals, every single patient, mental health. Everyone who ever got money for PTSD, including your little Malton's people's movement there. She got shot and tasered by the police, right? Well, you call on me for nothing. She didn't have a reason. Just remember you asked, right? We're also going to go over COVID. I guess I have a lot of content, right? I can make a lot of videos. I should just record them and put them up instead of doing these lives. Just record the videos and put them. But I need your opinions, right? Because you were there. You might actually know what happened. There was the election. Do you remember voting? Yeah, who'd you vote for? Mayor, councillor? In 2019 in Malton, 2018. Who's the last person you remember voting for? Where'd you go to vote? The community center or school? Let's think about it for a minute and remember in 2019. Who'd you vote for? Wow, a GoFundMe. Do you understand what GoFundMe is? Do you understand 2018, 2019 GoFundMe? You set up GoFundMe accounts everywhere. Are they legal? How did you do them on your taxes? All those GoFundMes you set up, speaking of that. I'd love to hear this. All those fundraisers. What did you do for your taxes? Those GoFundMes there, where all the money went. While we're on the topic, GoFundMe. If you ever had a GoFundMe, what do you claim that on as on your taxes? What do you claim it as? Do you tell them about it? You've been doing it for how long? GoFundMes? Yeah, all of those, right? Thousands of dollars. So what did you do when it came tax time? You just pretended it was the charity? I'd love to know. Let's hear. Malton, what'd you guys do? Tax time for your GoFundMe. Where did you claim the money? We're in 2026, not in 2018, Amy. That is correct. I mean, imagine. There's even TikTok these days. I line my taxes to receive a larger payment. It's so easy. Isn't that nice? And then they want to come and abuse me and they want to come into the building and live here. They're cheating on their Ontario Works and their ODSP and their taxes. And then they're complaining to me. They want food. They want from the food bank. You want life coaching. Don't lie, cheat, and steal. Remember that one? Don't come here and tell me. What do you think I'm going to do to you? No one is abusing you and you live there for free. Well, every tenant, I told you. Anybody ever tell me about being homeless or getting a housing subsidy, I'm going to finish you. Just remember, we're going back to 2019 after this in Malton. My life, 7 years wasted. You couldn't separate, so I'm going to do it. 800 women, a group of 800 women, right? Malton moms. Think about that, 800 in their mouth for 7 years. Children, right? Children, the school board. Violence and racism over and over and over. I asked, where, what system? What was the systemic violence and systemic racism? What system? You keep saying government. What government? You got the same grants from the same government. So let's go over it now. If I was here in Malton. We're going to go over year by year what you guys did here in Malton. Do you remember Doses After Dark? You didn't want to get your COVID injections and they had to bribe you. They had that big event. I was in the shelter then. But it was in Airport Road somewhere. International Center maybe. So you'd all go get prizes for getting your COVID vaccine. They had to bribe you to do it. And then like 50% of you, was it? Do you? You needed like 80% to open back the businesses? And now you're sitting here wondering why there's no business and you lost your house? Let's go over COVID again. When the schools shut down, what did your kids do when they had to do at-home learning? Did you have to buy them a computer or did they have one? How did they continue their school when you shut the schools down? You stayed home with them? Did you have a babysitter? Which parents stayed home? Both of them? To watch them? Did you send them to a daycare? Why is this important to me? Because you have to pay. 7 years worth of money I could have been making, right? My businesses. You wanted to do what? Why is this important to me? I told you nothing. None of your lives are important to me anymore. This is what you destroyed. I'm just showing you what you destroyed and why. While you sat here is right. You got every opportunity, right, to work from home for years after COVID. Why? What was wrong with you? Why did you go back recently? What was wrong with you? What was the threat? Why you couldn't go to the office? It was a couple months ago. Let me hear why. COVID was 6 years ago. Why? Why are you still working from home? If nothing's wrong with you and you're capable of working. I'm going to end this one for here. I'm going to go gather my notes and start making videos because this was so much fun. But I hope you enjoyed yourselves, Malton. Maybe you can remember COVID if you weren't too busy drinking and hanging out. Next time. Until next time. Thanks for joining in.